Let's get started. This is 8th grade math, Unit 3, Lesson 1, Practice. Let's practice what we've learned. Remember, we are learning to use proportional relationships and use the equation y equals k times x to represent proportional relationships. The value k is a constant of proportionality. Let me type that in, and you should write this down in your notes. The value of k is some constant of proportionality. And this also equals the slope of the line representing this linear relationship or proportional relationship. Look here, you can see the slope of a line in this graph. The slope of the line is equal to the constant of proportionality. To calculate the slope, you can find the rise and divide it over the run. That's a ratio of rise over run. Let me draw that on this graph. Now notice it starts at 0. So pick any point on this graph. I'm going to pick a point where it's easy to read from these grid lines. So the rise is the y coordinate here. It goes up 3 units. It goes up 3 units. Now make a ratio. Divide that with the run, which is how many units over. How many units over is the x coordinate? And you see it's 0.6. 0. Oh dear, my pen tablet is not easy to work with. I want to write this really neatly. 0.6. So this is the slope of this line. But what does that even mean? This is a graph of distance in miles on the vertical axis and time in hours on the horizontal axis. So this means that it goes up 3 miles for every 0.6 hours. Here's a better point to look at. This is 1 hour. On the axis, the x-axis, this point is 1 hour. So how much does this go up, or how much distance is there after 1 hour? So look at the rise. The rise is up 5 miles for every hour over. The slope of the line equals the constant of proportionality. And for this line, that is 5 miles up for every 1 hour. So what do you think that means? Usually, I would think that means a speed of 5 miles per hour. The slope of this line is the constant of proportionality. In this case, it means 5 miles for every hour. Okay, let's get started and let's read the directions. Priya jogs at a constant speed. There you go, constant speed. The relationship between her distance and time is shown in the graph. Diego bikes at a constant speed, twice as fast as Priya. Sketch a graph showing the relationship between Diego's distance and time. Okay, let's do it. First, this line here is for Priya. I don't want to get confused, so I'm going to write her name beside the line. This is Priya's graph here. And what does it tell you? Let's try to make an equation for this line. For Priya, y equals the distance, so her distance equals some constant of proportionality times her x value, which in this case is time in hours. So x equals time in hours, and y equals distance in miles. Okay, so we already looked at the slope of this line, and we used this point right here It means that Priya runs 5 miles for every 1 hour. For Priya, her K, her constant of proportionality, equals 5 miles for every 1 hour. Okay, so the equation of Priya's line equals y. Y equals 1/5 times x. We might use that later, we might not. But the problem is actually saying, sketch a graph showing the relationship between Diego's distance and time. Remember, Diego is twice as fast as Priya. Diego is twice as fast. Let me make a little note of that. This is important that you are also making notes. Have some scratch paper with you when you study. Diego is 2 times faster. Okay, look at the graph and let's plot Diego's line. I like to look at points where it crosses grid lines because that's easy to read. In 0.2 hours, Priya has run 3 miles. So in 0.2 hours, Diego, who is twice as fast, he will have ran, did I say 3 miles? I'm sorry, that's 1 mile, not 3. I'm going to erase that. I didn't read my graph correctly. In 0.2 miles, Priya has, in 0.2 hours, Priya has run 1 mile. So Diego, who is twice as fast, will have ran 2 miles. Let's find another point that's easy to read, like this point. In 0.4 hours, Priya has run 2 miles, so Diego has gone twice as far on his bicycle. He has gone 4 miles. Here's another point that's easy to read. In 0.6 hours, Priya has jogged 3 miles. That means Diego has biked 6 miles. I'll put his point here. Okay, we plotted some points. Now graph the line. They both started at a distance of 0 at time equals 0. Ding! There is Diego's line. I'm using my pen tablet with these handy drawing tools so that I can take notes and teach you as I go. But you don't have that. You can use GeoGebra tools. Why don't you use the point tool? And put your points where they should be. Do not miscalculate. I won't give you any credit if you put points wherever you want to. You must put points on the graph that show a distance of twice as far as Priya. Then, draw a line connecting your points like that. It'll be even better if you label this. So what do you think you want to call this line? Diego's distance on bike, maybe? I don't know. Let's label that. Diego's distance on bike. And then this line. What is the label for this line? Priya's jogging. Priya's distance while jogging, maybe? Okay. There we go. Good job, guys.